Oh, hey guys, it's Erin. I haven't been on in a while. I was traveling last week, and I just wanted to come on and say, hey, I starting a master class next week, I believe, and I wanted to answer any questions and also just pop on to see how everybody was doing. It's raining here in the Northeast. It's really been soggy, a lot of thunderstorms. It doesn't feel like summer, but it's a really gross, soggy summer. Hey, Dorothy, how are you? And can kind of be restrictive, just like in the winter. Also, want to go over any mastermind questions, if any, sorry, masterclass questions, if any ladies had any questions about it, and just give you more of a detailed explanation for why I'm offering it and why so early, right? I did the Christmas in July promo, which is part of the whole thing. And why I'm starting now, it seems like it's the summer. Why are we thinking about the holidays? Good question, right? Just to warn you guys ahead of time, I am a little bit sickish, so I apologize for how my voice sounds. I think I caught a cootie or something on the plane back from San Diego. Okay, so here's the deal. The reason why I'm starting the masterclass so early is because there's no time like the present, first of all. Second of all, the time's going to pass even if we don't work on our health. Think about that. I mean, think Memorial Day wasn't that long ago, right? So if we decided now that we're going to focus on getting healthy once and for all, it takes a while for those habits to really sink in. Sure, we can lose weight. We've lost weight so many times, right? It's all surface level stuff. But for us to truly have that change that we want, for our thought process to truly change, for our lives to be different systemically, like we don't go to food when we're sad or mad or anything other than hunger. Those are decades of habits that have to be undone. And so when everybody else is just saying, why bother? It's October, it's November. We will already be in full swing. So that's why I wanted the end date to be January 3rd. So when everybody else is thinking about getting their act together, you'll have a huge advantage of you'll have been actively working on let's get this done for once and for all. Because once I finally stopped trying to like do the band-aids over bullet holes, to quote Taylor Swift, that's when I was able to lose all the weight that I'd just been tormented with forever. I stopped getting cavities, my skin stopped breaking out. I was able to stop thinking about what I weighed, how many calories, how many points, how many whatevers, and was able to realize, wait, I just ate ice cream because my mother makes me, wait, no one makes you do anything. I ate ice cream after talking to my mom. What does that mean? And not that I'm a bad person, it doesn't mean anything. But connecting all those dots takes time. So sure, I could put you on a food plan. You could lose weight. That's not that hard. But to get all those things systemically, habit-wise done takes time. Also, there's no rush for the rest of our lives. So having this slow and steady approach always really wins the race, right? So my take on starting early, having it be very long, you get to know me, I get to know you, because when I know you, the more I know about you. I know that you have a cruise coming up. Okay, we need to talk about that. Or your mother-in-law is in town and she always makes this amazing food, which can be problematic for you. Okay, we need to talk about strategies. I can really be your advocate, but I only get to do that if I know you really well. All these things take time. You cannot rush time. Also, starting early, you never regret. Because by the time the holidays start, which a lot of people think is the day after Halloween, you'll already have a lot of things in process. You'll already be having all those really good habits as far as, meal planning and food prep and all the little techniques that my regular girls, gals, whatever I'm going to call them, do without thinking about it anymore because it's so ingrained. So when things are ingrained, they don't even think about it. Like, it doesn't even occur to them. Why would I be happy about food? It's just food, right? So for so many of us, we have emotions and food, and they're completely attached all the time, right? So when we're upset, we go to food. And when we see food, we get a very strong emotional response, right? We get really happy about pizza or really excited when someone makes our favorite dessert, right? Now, ideally, your food is not that interesting. I know, right? Sounds crazy. Hear me out. Because your life is so good, you don't really need to have exciting food because the fun is you and your friends and your family and what you're doing. So your food is great. I mean, I'm not saying you need to eat nothing but like steamed chicken and broccoli, but because of what you're doing and who you are, that's where the fun is. That's where the excitement is. That's what is sustaining you. You don't really have a strong opinion about what you eat as long as it's healthy. So when a lot of us get really attached to what we're going to eat, that we need to eat something great, it needs to be super important of the details, what's not happening in our lives that we become really obsessive about what we're eating when we should be really focusing on, wait, what's not working in our actual life that what becomes on our plate becomes really important. Again, all these things, or take a deep dive into it. So we might as well start now versus January 3rd. Also, seasonally, for those of you that live like I do, hey Justin, how are you? Season like I do, it's a really good time to start this sort of thing when in the late summer, fall versus when it's cold and gross and so let's go with the seasons. Let's go with the starting of the school and new changes and go buy some new pencils if you want. And really just take this for ourselves and have that gift we give ourselves of, okay, why do I eat when I'm feeling something? And what happens if we didn't eat? What happens if you just had that feeling, right? What happens if you just sat with the feeling of you were really disappointed in somebody? What if a situation was really upsetting and you didn't go to food? How long would that feeling last? Would the feeling be intensified or would it be lessened by food? Nothing. The feeling would still be there. You would just be distracted by food, right? The M&Ms would just distract you from the feeling. The feeling would still need to be felt at some point. And that feeling probably was there for a reason, right? Either you need to change something or you need to learn from it. But if we're so busy not feeling things because we're so afraid of what it means or how we have to do something about it or have an uncomfortable situation, what are we hiding from? The fact that maybe we made a wrong turn down the road? Well, okay, no big deal. We just don't do it again. We learn from it. I just had a situation that turned out to not be a great situation for myself. Eating a bunch of junk never occurred to me because food wasn't going to solve it, right? Food can only solve hunger, and that only kind of food that solves my hunger now is really basic. You guys know I eat a lot of avocados, right? So, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has disappointments and frustrations, and they get sick, and I get kind of whiny sometimes, and that's okay, but it takes time. All right, that's the masterclass. If you have any questions, you want to be included, hey Jackie, how are you? Let me know. I have a couple more slots this week. If you want to talk to me about them, we could definitely sign you up and officially starting next week. It's a small group and small but mighty, and you get to know me really well. I swear I'm a lot of fun, and all good stuff. All right. Summer FAQs. There's a couple more that are coming in. All right, it's the end of summer. Should I even bother? This is one of my favorites. This happens anything, right? End of the holidays, should I bother? End of spring break, should I bother? End of fill it out, should I bother? Yeah, you should always bother. If you have the desire to stop drinking because you're sick of it, yeah, you should go with it. If you have the desire to stop eating bags of Doritos, even though it's not Labor Day, follow that desire, because Doritos aren't going anywhere. And let's listen to your natural instinct of stopping the Doritos already, okay? So don't feel like you have to wait for the kids to go back to school or for the school buses to start driving down the road for you to stop putting your needs last. Also, for you stay-at-home moms who are not working out as much this summer, or maybe, running Camp Mom, take time for yourself and don't think you don't matter until the kids are back in school. That happens a lot. That's a question I get fairly often. Also, if you're on vacation, you will feel better if you get some time to yourself, whether it be a walk, find a gym. There's so many apps you can stream, bring your yoga mat. Hey, Katie, how are you? Your travel yoga mats, you can get those online. There's so many things you can do to work out, not just for the physical, calories you burn, also to connect with yourself, your meditator, whatever, just to keep up that mind-body connection. It will help you so much, especially because, let's face it, vacations can kind of be, a lot. God love the family. Another question I get a lot of is alcohol. What's the best thing to drink that's not a lot of calories? Okay. All alcohol, by definition, is pretty calorically dense, right? If you're going to drink, just be aware that it's not the best choice, first of all. Second of all, day drinking never ends well because you're hungover by 6 o'clock, then what? So that's always, just let's face it. So if you're going to drink and you insist upon drinking, be smart about it. Pick things that aren't super syrupy, and try to drink as much water as you can. Also, when we have a lot of alcohol in our systems, the screw-its almost always go at some point. You're like, oh, nachos are a great idea. Let's order pizza at 4 a.m. So the less drinking, the better. And as the summer winds down, there's going to be a lot of back to school, a lot of Labor Day, a lot of all that stuff. In one hand, it's a good thing, right? On the other hand, it doesn't mean it's a free-for-all either. A couple things to think about. I hope this helps you guys. I am going to call this because my throat is not happy, and whatever cootie I caught on the plane is no joke. So if you want to schedule some time with me this week to talk about the masterclass, I'd love to have you ladies. Guys, no offense, but it's ladies only, and have a really good week. And next time you go on a plane, lots of hand sanitizer. Okay, bye.